Do you know that something you do every day could be hurting your dog's feelings? That's right. Simple, everyday actions might be causing your furry friend to feel anxious, sad, or even neglected. In the next few minutes, we'll uncover 17 surprising things that could be damaging your dog's emotional health without you even realizing it. Stay tuned, because you'll want to hear this. Welcome back to Canine Diaries, the place where we help you build a better life with your furry companions. If you're passionate about providing the best care for your dog and deepening the bond you share, you've come to the right place. Here, we create videos to help you understand your dog's behavior, answer your questions about their health and happiness, and give you the best tips on how to ensure they're living their best life. If you've ever felt like there's more you can do for your dog, or if you've been wondering about the little things that might be affecting your dog's emotional well-being, you're not alone. Many pet owners, even with the best intentions, unknowingly make mistakes that can hurt their dog's feelings. But the good news is, it's never too late to learn and improve. Whether you're a new dog parent or have been caring for your pet for years, these tips will help you build a stronger, happier relationship with your dog. We understand that every dog is unique, which is why our videos take into account different breeds, ages, and personalities to give you the most practical advice. We're here to support you in becoming the best pet parent you can be. So, if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, so you never miss out on any of the valuable content we post every week. We're all about keeping your dog's well-being at the forefront, and this channel is designed to make pet care feel less overwhelming and more rewarding. Plus, you'll be joining a community of like-minded pet owners who truly care about making a difference in their dog's life. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to learn how to protect your dog's emotional health. If you're ready to take your bond with your dog to the next level and make sure you're doing everything right, hit that subscribe button now. Let's get started with today's video. Our dogs are far more sensitive than we often give them credit for. They can feel joy, fear, anxiety, and even experience emotional hurt just like us. The problem is, their feelings can easily be overlooked because they don't have the same way of expressing themselves as we do. While we might see their wagging tail and assume everything's fine, there are many subtle ways that our actions, things we do every day without even thinking about it, could actually be causing them distress. This video is here to help you understand those little things that might be slipping through the cracks in your everyday routine. You might not even realize it, but certain actions could be leaving your dog feeling anxious, confused, or even hurt. The truth is, our dogs trust us to take care of their emotional needs, but it's easy to miss those signs, especially when we're caught up in our busy lives or think that their behavior is just normal. When we talk about building a strong bond with our pets, it goes beyond basic care. It's about truly understanding them and respecting their feelings. Emotional health plays a huge role in your dog's overall well-being, and it impacts everything from their behavior to their physical health. The more we understand what affects their emotions, the better equipped we are to create a happy, healthy environment for them. Dogs may not be able to tell us with words when something is bothering them, but they sure do communicate in their own ways. They might withdraw, act out, or even show signs of fear or stress that we might overlook as simple behavioral issues. The goal today is to highlight those behaviors and help you spot the signs that your dog is emotionally affected. The better we are at recognizing these signals, the better we can respond and adjust our actions accordingly. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to watch out for in your own daily routine so you can avoid unintentionally causing harm to your dog's emotional state. It's all about creating a safer, happier environment where they feel loved, secure, and understood. Let's look at the 17 things that might be hurting your dog's feelings, and more importantly, how we can change them for the better. Before we jump into today's tips, I want to hear from you. If your dog has ever given you that heartbreaking sad look, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The one that makes you stop in your tracks and wonder, what did I do wrong? It's so easy to feel guilty when they give you that look, but we all make mistakes from time to time without even realizing it. So, in the comments below, share a moment when your dog seemed down or upset. What do you think triggered it? I'm sure a lot of you can relate to those moments when you wish you could just understand exactly what your dog is feeling. Well, that's exactly why we're here today, to uncover the everyday things that might be causing those sad moments, so we can change that and make sure your dog stays happy and healthy. And if you're ready to make sure your dog is as happy as can be, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It really helps support the channel and lets us know you're enjoying the content. Plus, it's a small gesture that shows your commitment to improving your dog's well-being. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more tips like these. There's a lot more to come that'll help you become the best pet parent you can be. Now, let's get started and make sure we're not unintentionally hurting our dog's feelings anymore. Ignoring your dog's body language. Dogs can't speak our language, but they communicate with us all the time through their body language. If we ignore the subtle signs they're giving us, it can lead to emotional stress and even behavioral issues. Every tail wag, ear flick, and posture shift tells us something important about how our dog is feeling. For instance, if your dog's tail is tucked between their legs or they're avoiding eye contact, they could be anxious, scared, or unsure about something around them. On the other hand, a wagging tail doesn't always mean they're happy. It could be a sign of excitement or nervousness, depending on the context. When we're busy or distracted, it's easy to miss these cues, but doing so can unintentionally cause harm. A dog that's constantly being ignored or forced into situations they're uncomfortable with can start to feel stressed or anxious. This isn't just about emotional well-being. Ignoring body language can also lead to behavioral problems as your dog tries to cope with those emotions. For example, if you're not paying attention to your dog's signs of stress when they're in a new environment, you might push them too hard, which could result in fear-based behavior or even aggression. So, how can we fix this? It starts by being more aware of the small details. Watch for signs like lip licking, yawning, or pacing. They're often subtle indicators that something is off. By learning your dog's specific body language, you can better respond to their needs and prevent unnecessary stress. Pay attention to your dog's signals. What they're not saying is just as important as what they are. By tuning into their body language, you'll create a deeper bond and help ensure their emotional health stays intact. Yelling at your dog. Yelling at your dog might feel like the right way to correct bad behavior in the moment, but it can actually cause more harm than good. Dogs don't understand the concept of yelling the same way humans do. Instead of associating it with the action they've done wrong, they often see it as a threat or a sign of fear. When you raise your voice at them, it can lead to anxiety, confusion, and even fear-based aggression. Rather than improving behavior, it can make your dog more anxious and less likely to trust you. When we yell, it creates a stressful environment for our dogs. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to tone and energy, so harsh words or an angry tone can lead to emotional distress. In fact, when your dog hears a raised voice, they might start to shut down or try to avoid you altogether. Over time, this erodes the bond of trust you've worked so hard to build. Instead of yelling, try to redirect their behavior calmly. Dogs respond much better to positive reinforcement, where you reward them for good behavior rather than punishing them for mistakes. When your dog does something right, offer praise, treats, or their favorite toy. If they're doing something wrong, a calm no, followed by redirection, will go a lot further than raising your voice. Yelling doesn't improve your dog's behavior. It damages your relationship with them and causes emotional harm. Positive reinforcement and calm redirection are much more effective in the long run. Treat your dog with patience, understanding, and love, and they'll learn to trust you while also improving their behavior. Not giving enough attention or affection. Dogs are incredibly social creatures. They thrive on interaction and affection from their owners, and when they don't receive enough attention, it can lead to emotional distress. This can happen when life gets busy, or when we unknowingly get caught up in our own routines and forget to spend quality time with them. While it's easy to assume that providing food and shelter is enough, it's the emotional connection that truly matters to your dog. When your dog doesn't get enough affection or attention, they can become anxious, lonely, or even depressed. This is especially true for dogs that are left alone for long periods of time, or when they feel neglected during times of stress, like when you're distracted by other responsibilities or events. Dogs often express their need for attention through behaviors such as barking, chewing, or destructive actions. These behaviors are their way of trying to get your attention, but if they feel ignored or unheard, it can escalate. On the other hand, when you provide consistent attention, it reassures your dog and strengthens the bond between you both. It's not just about petting them or giving them treats. It's about giving them the time and care they need to feel safe, loved, and noticed. Spending time playing with your dog, whether it's a simple game of fetch, going for a walk, or even just sitting down and petting them, can make all the difference in how they feel emotionally. Even small moments of connection, like talking to them or making eye contact, can go a long way in reassuring them. Dogs need our attention and affection just as much as they need food and water. If they're not receiving enough of it, they can start to feel neglected, anxious, or unhappy. Set aside time every day for bonding with your dog, whether that's through play, training, or simply spending time together. Your dog will feel more secure, loved, and emotionally balanced, and you'll see the positive effects in their behavior and overall happiness. Using harsh training methods. When it comes to training our dogs, we often focus on teaching them what to do, but the way we approach training can significantly impact their emotional well-being. Harsh or punitive training methods, like yelling, hitting, or using choke collars, can create fear and anxiety in your dog rather than fostering trust and cooperation. These methods might get results in the short term, but they can damage the bond between you and your dog and leave them emotionally scarred. Dogs don't understand punishment the way we do. When they're reprimanded harshly, they don't necessarily associate the punishment with their behavior. Instead, they may just become afraid of you or the situation, which can lead to stress, confusion, and even fear-based aggression. Over time, your dog could begin to shut down emotionally, losing their confidence and becoming fearful of training or any interaction that involves correction. Positive reinforcement, on the other hand, creates an environment of trust and understanding. Instead of punishing your dog for doing something wrong, focus on rewarding them for doing things right. Dogs respond well to praise, treats, and affection, and by rewarding them for good behavior, you encourage them to repeat that behavior. Training becomes a fun, rewarding experience rather than something to fear. Using positive reinforcement also builds your relationship with your dog and strengthens the trust between you. They'll begin to look forward to training sessions because they associate them with good things. Harsh training methods not only harm your dog's emotional state, but they also undermine the trust you've worked so hard to build. By shifting to positive reinforcement techniques, you're helping your dog learn in a way that's encouraging, gentle, and effective. It's about creating an environment where they feel safe, loved, and motivated to do their best. Through patience and consistency, you'll see not only better behavior but a much deeper bond with your dog, built on trust and mutual respect. Not providing enough physical or mental stimulation. Dogs are active and curious creatures that need regular physical and mental stimulation to stay happy and healthy. When we fail to provide enough exercise or mental challenges, it can lead to boredom, frustration, and even behavioral issues. Just like people, dogs need outlets for their energy, both physically and mentally. Without these outlets, they can start to exhibit undesirable behaviors, such as excessive barking, chewing, or becoming destructive. Physical stimulation, such as walks, runs, or playtime, helps to burn off excess energy and keeps your dog fit and healthy. But mental stimulation is equally important. Dogs need to use their brains to stay sharp and engaged. If they don't get enough mental exercise, they can become bored and disengaged. This can result in destructive behaviors as they try to find their own ways to entertain themselves, which often ends up being something you won't appreciate, like chewing on furniture or digging in the yard. Providing both types of stimulation doesn't have to be complicated. Regular walks, interactive play, or even simple games like fetch or hide and seek can be excellent for your dog's mental and physical well-being. Puzzle toys are a great option for providing mental challenges as they require your dog to think and problem-solve to get a treat or reward. Additionally, engaging in training sessions or teaching your dog new tricks provides both mental and emotional stimulation, as it strengthens the bond between you and helps your dog feel accomplished and satisfied. Without proper physical and mental stimulation, your dog can become bored, anxious, and possibly develop behavioral problems. It's important to provide a balanced routine that includes both physical exercise and mental challenges to ensure your dog stays happy, healthy, and well-adjusted. By offering opportunities for your dog to expend their energy in a positive way, you're not only helping them avoid negative behaviors but also strengthening your relationship and improving their overall quality of life. Not respecting their personal space. Dogs, just like people, need their own space from time to time. While we love spending time with our pets, it's important to remember that forcing interaction when they're not in the mood can cause unnecessary stress and anxiety. A dog's need for personal space is often overlooked, especially when we want to cuddle or play with them. However, not respecting their boundaries can lead to emotional distress, and over time, it can even affect your relationship with your dog. When a dog retreats to their bed, crate, or another quiet space, it's usually a sign that they need some time alone. Forcing them out of that space or interrupting their downtime can make them feel unsafe or overwhelmed. Dogs may show physical signs when they're in need of space, such as walking away from you, turning their head, or showing their teeth if they're pushed too far. It's crucial to understand that these behaviors are not acts of defiance, but rather clear signals that your dog needs a moment to recharge. Respecting a dog's personal space also becomes even more important during times of stress or after long days of play or training. Just like us, dogs can get mentally and physically drained, and they need a safe place where they can relax and unwind. If a dog is constantly being approached or disturbed during these moments, it can increase their stress levels and affect their overall emotional well-being. Respecting your dog's need for personal space is essential for maintaining a calm, trusting relationship. Giving your dog the freedom to retreat when they need to rest or be alone shows them that you understand and care about their emotional needs. It also helps to build their confidence, knowing that they can come to you for comfort, but also have a place where they can enjoy solitude when necessary. By recognizing and honoring their boundaries, you're creating a healthier and happier environment for both of you. Forcing them into uncomfortable situations. As much as we love our dogs and want them to experience everything with us, forcing them into situations they're not comfortable with can have lasting negative effects on their emotional well-being. Whether it's a visit to the vet, a trip to the groomer, or even a car ride, some situations can cause significant stress for your dog. When we push them into these experiences without taking their feelings into account, it can lead to fear, anxiety, and a breakdown in trust. Dogs, like people, have their own limits when it comes to new experiences or environments. While some dogs may be naturally more adaptable to change, others might be more sensitive and need a slower approach to acclimate to new things. Forcing them into an uncomfortable situation, like putting them in a crate when they're not used to it, or taking them to a crowded place without gradual exposure, can create lasting fear or anxiety. This could result in them associating that experience with discomfort or even harm, leading to avoidance behaviors in the future. Instead of forcing your dog into stressful situations, it's important to take a more gradual, patient approach. For example, if your dog is nervous about car rides, try to make them a more positive experience by starting with short trips that end in something fun, like a visit to the park. Or if your dog is anxious about being around new people or other animals, take small steps to help them feel more at ease, like introducing them to one new person or animal at a time in a controlled, calm setting. Forcing your dog into uncomfortable situations only causes them stress and damages your relationship with them. Gradual exposure and positive reinforcement are much more effective in helping your dog overcome their fears. By respecting their pace and giving them the time and space they need to adjust to new experiences, you're ensuring they feel safe, secure, and loved, which ultimately strengthens the bond between you. Your dog's emotional well-being should always be a priority, and taking the time to nurture their trust will lead to a happier, more confident pet. Being inconsistent with rules. Consistency is one of the most important aspects of building trust and understanding with your dog. When we are inconsistent with the rules, it can cause confusion and anxiety, leaving your dog unsure of what is expected of them. Dogs thrive on routine and clarity, and when the rules are constantly changing, they struggle to understand what behaviors are acceptable and what are not. This inconsistency can lead to stress and frustration, as your dog may not know how to respond in different situations. For example, if you allow your dog to jump on the couch one day and scold them for doing it the next, they can become confused about why their behavior is sometimes okay and other times not. This type of mixed message can create stress and undermine their confidence. Similarly, if they're allowed to beg for food at the table one day but then get reprimanded the next, it's difficult for them to learn what's truly expected. Over time, this inconsistency can cause anxiety because your dog doesn't feel secure in their understanding of the world around them. Being clear and consistent with your commands and boundaries helps your dog feel more confident and secure. When they understand what behavior is acceptable and what is not, they are more likely to respond positively. This also helps reduce anxiety, as your dog can anticipate the consequences of their actions and feel safe knowing the rules won't change unexpectedly. Consistency is crucial in establishing a sense of security for your dog. Whether it's training, setting boundaries, or responding to certain behaviors, being consistent helps your dog understand what's expected of them and reduces confusion and stress. Consistency doesn't just apply to rules, it also applies to your emotions and reactions. When your dog knows what to expect from you, they're more likely to trust you and feel secure in your care. By maintaining a steady, predictable routine and responding in a consistent manner, you'll foster a sense of stability that helps your dog feel confident and emotionally balanced. Overfeeding or feeding unhealthy food. One of the most common ways we unintentionally hurt our dog's feelings is through their diet. Overfeeding them or feeding them unhealthy food not only affects their physical health but can also have a significant impact on their emotional well-being. Just like us, dogs feel sluggish, uncomfortable, or even unhappy when they don't have the right balance of nutrition. It's easy to overindulge our pets with treats or table scraps, but doing so regularly can lead to an increase in health problems like obesity, which in turn can affect their energy levels and overall happiness. When dogs gain too much weight, it can cause physical discomfort, making them less active and more prone to health issues such as joint pain, heart problems, and diabetes. This lack of physical activity can lead to frustration or anxiety, especially for active breeds who require a lot of exercise. Beyond the physical effects, an unhealthy diet can also impact their behavior and emotional state. When a dog's body isn't getting the right nutrients, it can lead to irritability, lethargy, or mood swings. The link between diet and emotions in dogs is often overlooked, but it's a crucial part of their overall well-being. On the flip side, feeding your dog a well-balanced diet that suits their specific needs not only improves their physical health but also their mood and energy levels. Providing healthy meals and limiting treats helps to maintain their ideal weight and ensures that they have the energy to play, learn, and interact with you in a positive way. You should focus on high-quality dog food, appropriate portions, and treats that are made for dogs, avoiding feeding them human food, especially foods that are toxic to them, like chocolate, grapes, or onions. What you feed your dog plays a huge role in their overall health and emotional state. By providing them with a nutritious, balanced diet and avoiding overfeeding, you're helping them stay physically and mentally healthy. Healthy dogs are happy dogs, and by focusing on their diet, you're giving them the best chance to live a long, happy, and emotionally fulfilled life. Taking the time to choose the right food for your dog will not only improve their health but also their mood, energy, and emotional connection with you. Not providing enough socialization. Socialization is crucial to your dog's emotional development, and not providing enough of it can lead to fear, anxiety, and behavioral issues. Dogs are naturally social animals, and they learn how to interact with other people, pets, and environments from a young age. When a dog isn't exposed to different situations or other animals, they may develop fear of the unfamiliar, which can lead to anxious or aggressive behavior when they encounter new experiences or individuals. Socialization isn't just about meeting other dogs or going on playdates. It's about exposing your dog to a variety of situations, environments, sounds, and people. Whether it's taking them on trips to the park, introducing them to new people or animals, or exposing them to different environments like busy streets, pet stores, or even just different rooms in your house, all these experiences help your dog become more confident and adaptable. The more experiences your dog has, the more comfortable and well-adjusted they'll be when they encounter unfamiliar situations. When dogs aren't socialized properly, they can become fearful or even aggressive when faced with new experiences. A dog that hasn't been exposed to other dogs may growl, bark, or act out of fear when they're introduced to one. Similarly, if a dog isn't used to loud noises, they might become terrified of things like fireworks, thunderstorms, or even a vacuum cleaner. These reactions can cause stress and emotional discomfort, and over time, this fear can escalate, leading to anxiety or behavioral issues that are much harder to correct. Proper socialization is essential to your dog's emotional health. By regularly exposing them to new experiences, people, and environments in a controlled and positive way, you help them develop the confidence they need to navigate the world around them. Socializing your dog early on sets them up for success by reducing fear and anxiety, and it helps them grow into well-rounded, happy, and confident companions. It's not about overwhelming your dog but gradually helping them feel comfortable and secure in the world around them. Punishing your dog for natural behaviors. Dogs have natural instincts and behaviors that are simply a part of who they are. Punishing them for actions that are rooted in instinct can not only confuse them but also harm their emotional well-being. For example, a dog may bark at strangers, chase after moving objects, or dig in the yard. These behaviors might be seen as undesirable, but they are often natural instincts that stem from their need for protection, stimulation, or curiosity. When we punish these behaviors, it can create fear and anxiety, leaving the dog confused about why they are being reprimanded. Instead of punishing your dog for these instinctual actions, it's important to redirect their energy or behavior in a more constructive way. Barking at strangers, for instance, could be your dog's way of alerting you to something they perceive as a threat. Rather than scolding them for barking, teaching them a command like, "quiet," and rewarding them when they stop can help them understand what behavior is expected. If your dog digs because they're bored or trying to cool off, providing more exercise or creating a digging area where they're allowed to dig can help them release that energy without the negative consequences. Punishing natural behaviors can also lead to frustration and even aggression in some dogs. They might not understand why they're being punished, and this disconnect can create anxiety and stress. Over time, they might begin to associate you with negative experiences rather than trust and security. It can erode the bond between you and your dog, making them more wary and less confident in their interactions with you. The takeaway here is to recognize that some behaviors are simply part of being a dog, and punishing them for those behaviors does more harm than good. Instead, focus on positive redirection and providing appropriate outlets for their instincts. By understanding and working with your dog's natural tendencies, you create a more positive environment that nurtures trust and emotional health. Dogs thrive when they feel understood and when their instincts are respected, and you'll find that these natural behaviors can be managed with patience and the right approach. Ignoring their need for routine. Dogs are creatures of habit, and one of the simplest ways to support their emotional well-being is by providing a consistent routine. Routines help dogs feel secure and safe, as they know what to expect throughout the day. When their environment is predictable, dogs can better manage their emotions and behavior. A lack of routine, on the other hand, can lead to confusion, anxiety, and stress. It's easy to overlook how important daily schedules are to dogs, but when their routine is disrupted, whether it's a change in feeding times, walk schedules, or even your own availability, it can affect them emotionally. Dogs thrive when they know when they're going to eat, when they're going out for walks, and when it's time to relax. A consistent routine helps them anticipate what comes next, which fosters a sense of safety and stability. If their routine changes unpredictably, it can cause stress and lead to behavioral issues. For example, a dog that's used to eating at 7 a.m. might feel anxious if their mealtime is delayed, and this anxiety could cause them to act out. Similarly, dogs that are used to a regular walk schedule may become anxious if their daily walk is skipped or rescheduled without warning. Establishing a routine is especially important when it comes to things like exercise, feeding, and bedtime. Regular exercise not only keeps your dog healthy but also helps them burn off excess energy, reducing stress. Feeding your dog at consistent times ensures they feel secure and can avoid becoming anxious about when their next meal will come. Lastly, a consistent bedtime routine helps your dog wind down and feel safe, promoting better sleep and overall emotional health. Dogs need a predictable routine to feel emotionally secure. By establishing a regular schedule for activities like feeding, exercise, and rest, you help reduce anxiety and keep your dog feeling balanced and calm. Consistency in their daily life makes them feel more comfortable in their environment and strengthens the bond between you. If you want to keep your dog happy and well-adjusted, the best thing you can do is create a routine that they can rely on each day. This not only helps with their behavior but also supports their emotional and physical health. Neglecting proper training. Training is one of the most important aspects of ensuring your dog feels secure and understood, and neglecting it can lead to emotional distress and behavioral problems. When a dog isn't properly trained, they can become anxious, confused, or frustrated because they don't know what's expected of them. This lack of direction can leave them feeling uncertain and may lead to undesirable behaviors like jumping on people, barking excessively, or even aggression. Training gives your dog the tools to navigate their world confidently, and without it, they can become overwhelmed or misbehave simply because they don't know better. One of the biggest mistakes owners make is assuming that their dog will learn on their own, or that basic obedience is enough. While it's true that dogs pick up on things naturally, training is essential for establishing clear boundaries and expectations. Dogs need structure, and through training, you help them understand how to behave in different situations. Without proper training, dogs might act out in ways that are unintentionally reinforced, creating a pattern of behavior that's difficult to correct. Training isn't just about teaching commands like sit, stay, or come. It's about building a deeper connection and understanding between you and your dog. It helps them feel more confident because they know what is expected of them, and it strengthens the bond between you both. When dogs are trained consistently and positively, they feel secure in their relationship with you and are more likely to trust your guidance. On the other hand, a lack of training can cause frustration, anxiety, and confusion, leading to behavioral issues that could have been avoided with proper guidance. Neglecting training doesn't just result in a poorly behaved dog, it affects their emotional state and well-being. By investing time and effort into proper training, you give your dog the confidence they need to succeed in the world around them. It builds a foundation of trust and understanding that strengthens your bond and ensures they feel safe and secure. Training isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process that provides your dog with the structure they need to thrive emotionally and behaviorally. The better trained your dog is, the happier and more confident they'll be. Using too much punishment. While it's natural to want your dog to behave, relying too heavily on punishment can be damaging to their emotional health and the bond between you. Dogs do not understand punishment in the same way humans do, and when we resort to punitive methods like hitting, yelling, or using harsh tools like shock collars, we risk causing fear, anxiety, and confusion. The issue with punishment is that it focuses on what your dog is doing wrong, rather than teaching them what they should do instead. This creates an environment of negativity where your dog may begin to associate you or certain situations with fear, rather than trust and guidance. Punishment can lead to several unintended consequences. A dog that is frequently punished may become fearful, anxious, and even aggressive. When a dog feels threatened, they are less likely to respond to commands or behave as expected. Instead, they may retreat into defensive behaviors, such as growling, barking, or even snapping. This can create a cycle of fear-based reactions that only further complicates training and can damage the trust between you and your dog. In contrast, positive reinforcement is a far more effective approach. By rewarding good behavior rather than punishing bad behavior, you help your dog understand what they should do, rather than focusing on what they shouldn't. Positive reinforcement encourages confidence, builds trust, and strengthens the bond between you and your dog. Instead of feeling afraid of making mistakes, your dog learns that good behavior brings rewards, making them more likely to repeat that behavior in the future. Too much punishment can harm your dog's emotional well-being and undermine your relationship with them. It's essential to create a positive, rewarding environment where your dog can learn and grow without the fear of harsh consequences. By focusing on reinforcing good behavior and calmly redirecting unwanted actions, you help your dog become more confident, secure, and emotionally balanced. Positive reinforcement is not just more effective, it's also kinder and more fulfilling for both you and your dog, leading to a stronger and healthier relationship. Overloading them with new experiences. While it's great to expose your dog to new experiences, overloading them with too many new situations at once can be overwhelming and emotionally draining. Dogs, especially those who are more sensitive or timid, need time to adjust to changes in their environment. When we introduce them to too much too quickly, like meeting multiple new dogs, going to crowded places, or traveling long distances without preparation, it can cause stress and anxiety. Dogs need time to process and feel comfortable in new situations, and rushing them into experiences without considering their emotional state can lead to fear and confusion. When dogs are overwhelmed, their body language can tell you that they're stressed. They may exhibit signs like panting, pacing, drooling, or even hiding. These signs should not be ignored, as they indicate that your dog is struggling to cope with the new stimuli. Forcing them to push through these stressful situations can cause long-term emotional distress, leading to anxiety or even aggression in some cases. Instead of throwing your dog into every new experience right away, take it slow and give them the time they need to adjust. Gradual exposure is the key here. Introducing your dog to new experiences step by step, at their own pace, helps build confidence and reduces stress. For example, if you're introducing your dog to a new park, start with quiet, less crowded times before moving on to busier moments. If your dog has anxiety around other dogs, allow them to interact with just one calm, friendly dog before slowly increasing the number of dogs they meet. This gradual approach ensures your dog feels safe and secure, preventing them from becoming overwhelmed. Overloading your dog with too many new experiences at once can harm their emotional well-being. It's important to allow your dog to approach new situations at their own pace, providing support and reassurance along the way. By giving your dog time to adjust, you help them build confidence and resilience. This approach not only ensures your dog remains calm and happy but also strengthens the trust between you, as they learn to rely on you to guide them through new and sometimes overwhelming experiences. Neglecting to provide mental rest. Just like physical exercise, mental rest is incredibly important for your dog's overall well-being. Many dog owners focus on physical activities like walks, runs, or playtime, but forget that mental stimulation also requires time to recover. Dogs, especially intelligent breeds, can get mentally fatigued just as easily as they can get physically tired. When dogs are constantly engaged in activities that require them to think or problem solve, like training, puzzle toys, or interactive games, they need time to rest and unwind. Failing to provide enough downtime for your dog can result in mental exhaustion, which can lead to stress, irritability, or even behavioral problems. When your dog doesn't get enough mental rest, they might start showing signs of frustration or anxiety, such as excessive licking, chewing, or becoming hyperactive. Just as we feel worn out after a long day of work or study, your dog needs time to recharge mentally. If they're constantly engaged without time to decompress, it can lead to overstimulation, where they become easily overwhelmed or unable to focus during training sessions or interactions. It's important to create a balance between physical and mental exercise and periods of rest. Giving your dog time to relax in a quiet environment, without distractions, allows them to process everything they've experienced and helps them stay emotionally balanced. This could mean simply allowing them to rest in their crate, bed, or a favorite spot where they feel safe. Ensuring your dog has space to relax and recharge is just as crucial as making sure they get enough exercise and stimulation. Mental rest is an essential part of your dog's health. Just as you wouldn't run a marathon without giving your body time to recover, your dog needs time to rest mentally between activities. By providing time for mental relaxation and balancing it with physical and mental stimulation, you're supporting your dog's emotional health and preventing overstimulation. A well-rested dog is a happy dog, and ensuring they have the opportunity to unwind helps them feel secure, content, and emotionally stable. Not being attuned to their emotional needs. Dogs are highly intuitive and sensitive creatures, capable of picking up on our emotions and reacting to them. What many owners don't realize is that dogs have their own emotional needs that must be met for them to feel truly secure and balanced. Just as we have days when we're feeling off or in need of comfort, dogs also experience a range of emotions that can affect their behavior and mental health. When we fail to recognize and respond to these emotional cues, we risk causing them unnecessary stress or anxiety, leading to emotional or behavioral problems. Being attuned to your dog's emotional needs means paying attention to how they're feeling on a deeper level. If your dog seems withdrawn, anxious, or irritable, these could be signs that something in their environment is bothering them or that they're experiencing some form of stress. Whether it's a change in their routine, a new person or pet in the house, or a shift in your own emotional state, dogs are sensitive to these changes and may need extra reassurance or attention. Ignoring these signs can cause your dog to feel neglected or misunderstood, leading to a breakdown in trust or even the development of anxiety or other behavioral issues. Part of being attuned to your dog's emotional needs is recognizing when they're in need of comfort, affection, or space. For example, if your dog is showing signs of stress, offering a quiet, comfortable place to relax can be more beneficial than pushing them to interact or engage in activities. Likewise, if your dog is acting out or anxious, providing extra positive reinforcement or reassurance can help them feel more secure. Every dog has their own unique emotional needs, and as their owner, it's up to you to observe their behaviors and respond in a way that makes them feel safe, loved, and understood. Being attuned to your dog's emotional needs is a crucial part of being a responsible and loving pet parent. By recognizing their emotional state and responding with empathy and understanding, You're helping to foster a sense of security and well-being. Whether they need comfort, attention, or some time alone, meeting your dog's emotional needs strengthens your bond and ensures their happiness. When you provide a supportive, emotionally aware environment, your dog will thrive, both mentally and emotionally. So, to recap, here are the 17 things that could be hurting your dog's feelings. Ignoring their body language, yelling at them, not giving them enough attention or affection, using harsh training methods, neglecting their need for physical and mental stimulation, not respecting their personal space, forcing them into uncomfortable situations, being inconsistent with rules, overfeeding or feeding unhealthy food, neglecting proper training, punishing natural behaviors, overloading them with new experiences, neglecting mental rest, using too much punishment, failing to provide enough socialization, and not being attuned to their emotional needs. These simple actions, some of which we may not even realize we're doing, can have a big impact on your dog's emotional health. And by making small changes in how we interact with our dogs, we can create an environment where they feel safe, happy, and understood. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit the like button to show your support. It really helps us out, and it lets us know that you want more videos like this. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future pet care tips. We're all about helping you create a stronger bond with your dog and providing the best care possible. Also, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Share your own experiences. What behaviors have you noticed in your dog that might be linked to their emotions? Let's learn from each other and build a community that supports our pets in every way. In our next video, we'll dive into a topic that might make you giggle. Dog sniffing butts, the true and strange reason behind dogs' behavior. It's a fascinating and often misunderstood aspect of canine communication that you won't want to miss. So, make sure you're subscribed and ready to explore more about our furry friends.